Alright, guys. Sorry for the lack of hype there. I had to go read something real quick, but let me press all the buttons wrong and incorrect. Because, well, that's how I always seem to do it. Best of 5, Control 2, Shift 1. Ooh, looks like we're good to go. So, here we are in game number 4. This is, of course, the loser's bracket, but the finals. The winner of this series goes on with Pulse to represent America over in IEM Cologne. Intel Extreme Masters, of course, are the people putting this on. Where's that awesome logo? Let's show that off real quick. This could be it, guys. This could be the last game. I am officially voting for Illusion because I want to see some sort of epic comeback. But not to say that I'm rooting against QXC, because if he wins this, he's certainly earned it. And speaking of QXC, spawning in the lower right corner of the map, from Complexity Gaming, the American hero, the Purple Terran, the Bandana Terran, QXC!
On the upper left, as the pink Terran, is going to be Roots Illusion.
I hate you.
Dude, if you don't like the way that I do it, you can just do both of them.
I don't want to do both of them. Alright, anyways, Root Illusion, of course, is the Twitter of this guy, and I'm just teasing Zombie Grub, guys. I do not hate Zombie Grub. And Complexity, or Cole, is the other guy. I don't know, people complain too much that we're awkward, but I gotta be honest, I love the awkward dynamics of how different we are. I think that's why our casting works better. I don't know, kind of circle jerk or self jerk in here, guys, but I do hope you've enjoyed the cast so far today. It's been a pretty long one, but it's been a pretty darn good one, and I don't regret a single game. They've all been good, they've all been fantastic, and they've they've given us a good like 5 plus 6, 7 hours of entertainment. Who can really complain about that?
Oh, well, this game going on, they both went 15 gas. That's pretty odd. I mean, just, like, 15 gas in general is the least popular, and, you know, usually we're seeing 12, 13 from these guys.
Yeah, 11 if you want to be really, really fast, but less likely than the other two. We do have the supply depot coming over here, so already Illusion, or sorry, QXC wants to make sure there's not a lot of dead space in his base to worry about. We'll get this SCV kill.
First blood.
Nice little catch.
You always hear the first blood in the background.
Oh yeah, because it echoes to the microphone. Looks like QXC also loses SCVs, so pretty mirrored up so far, as Illusion also spreading his depots out, wants to make sure he doesn't get caught off guard by anything too crazy. That is the problem with these newer maps. Lots of dead space in the main seems to be popular, and so does very exposed third and naturals.
Illusion's going to be going for a Reaper, while QXC's going to be going for a Reactor. Might be similar to last game, but Illusion this time. No oddly placed racks, but is getting an earlier command center.
Still with the aggressive Marine push. Not going to work out this time, didn't work out last time. Not that it's a big deal, and it doesn't really decide the game, but a little unfortunate to see that this won't work out for Illusion. Maybe with the Reaper, though. Whoa, hang on, that's a very weird Reaper to come out, but...
This sometimes happens, you know, 2 Marines and 7 SCV, the Reaper. So that's this could be pretty neat, but he does have to wait for the Reaper. I mean,
ooh, nice kill on the SCV.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah, gonna delay the command center. I don't think he'll kill this. There's no way he should tear this down, but it will buy him a lot of time. Reaper needs to get involved with this fight if he really wants to fight it, but Illusion focusing on the command center will lose a couple Marines to this. If he had gotten that second Marine, taking out that third one would be no problem with the Reaper, but with 6 health, it does escape to go try and get those combat drugs in effect.
Yeah.
But
delayed
this
the command center quite a while. Yeah, delayed the command center actually quite a while. Compare the command centers on the production tab, it's very different.
Yeah, that's the big thing I was going to point out next. Like, we got ahead for the cost of a couple Marines, not a big deal. QXC is, of course, getting the starport out, but I don't think this is... Oh, do you think it's going to be... I don't know if this would be a quick Banshee, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Banshee come out eventually.
QXC is just going to do the same thing he did last time. Pretty sure. Oh, I just get a tech lab on the factory, so maybe not. But he has been, I mean, the Marine Hellion push, in fact, that was just a Marine drop that one time, it seemed to do pretty well against his opponents. Actually, it doesn't do absolutely terribly, which is the important part. So it looks like you're right, it's going to be for the Banshee. Getting on that tech lab. Does have quite a few Marines in case Illusion also goes for the Banshee, but Illusion's playing more defensive, getting that Raven and a Widow Mine.
Is he going to get that Hellion? I wonder. 2 health and that Reaper is in hot pursuit, but of course the Hellion's a little bit quicker. Not by a lot, but just enough to get out alive. Full scan off from QXC does come into the main. He sees everything. I think he even catches the tail end of that command center, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he does. So knows precisely what Illusion's got going for him. Although, you know, with the cloak coming up with the Raven timing, this could be a bit awkward because it's not a Banshee coming out first, of course.
He faked it, so he got it for the scan and then and canceled it. So that was pretty good. Not something you usually see nowadays, simply because you usually do get cloak because it's so cheap.
And that is like old school tactics. And for QXC, rather than coming across the map immediately, we'll probably end up investing in a little more defense. So Illusion doing that one small little thing suddenly makes his base, you know, that much safer. Not by a lot. It's not gonna, like, if QXC was going to go cloak Banshee, he's still going to go cloak Banshee, but you know, perhaps opting to play a little bit more defensive, we do see him making that Raven now.
Yeah, only makes one Banshee. Generally, if you can get away with it, you want to make, you know, 2 or 3, as we saw Pult did. But if you think they're going to get cloak Banshee too, you got to get your own Raven. And that's what QXC's fallen into. Trying to push across the map with these Raven and 2-3 Hellions. I mean, the Hellions shouldn't do anything, and the Raven for Illusion should be able to, you know, tag that Banshee.
Alright, well, we got the Banshee coming into the natural base. Marines have got to be careful about how they get split here, because, of course, there are some Hellions coming from... you know what? I take that back. With the tank sieged up, QXC should not be able to push in here at all.
Yeah, no. Could have been cute, but the bunker siege tank not going to work out. The Banshee, in fact, does go down. QXC has not invested further into it. Actually, is investing into Vikings again. He is going mech this time, which is odd, because the last 2 times going bios really worked out for him. Well, actually, I don't think last time we really got to see what he wanted to do, but...
Yeah, but Illusion, while he's a really good Terran player, he's not Pult, right? Like, he doesn't have that insane game sense, and he's not the quote-unquote comeback king, so... I don't know. I think QXC going mech could work out. I say could, though, with a big question mark at the end of that.
Well, what happened last time he went mech on that first game, which absolutely did not work out for him. This time he has a lot more Marines, so if Illusion did try to push and just win, it's not going to be quite as easy. He might try and push, and maybe just taking a little bit more of a presence so he can get that third up. Of course, the tanks will be able to take on the Hellions, no problem. He's also getting his own Viking, so there might be some small Viking versus Viking scuffles.
Man, I love words like scuffle, kerfuffle, the fuffle sound. I don't know. Totally sober, guys, I promise. I'm just saying, it's a funny sound. Hellions are actually going to find with the base fully evacuated that they can move in here. What? Illusion moves out with everything once again, and this opens up the SCV. Oh, no. You need, like, the Three Stooges sound effects for this, because Illusion... Again, a small mistake costs him so much. He cleans up the Hellions, but how many workers went down there? 19 SCVs killed this game. Ay, Illusion, man.
No, that didn't go so well.
I feel like maybe he used up all of his, like, super sick juju, like, against Huck.
He, like, ran out that first game.
His mojo, baby.
Like 30 SCVs to 52. That is bad. That is not good. Illusion has to do something here, and what can he do? QXC has tanks this time. Like, he just needs to siege up, and he's fine. Maybe. Never mind. He only has 1. Okay, well, even still with 1 medevac, you can technically still elevator on. It just takes a lot longer.
Well, if he secures a position with those 2 siege tanks first, it's definitely a possibility. But
up
here on the high ground,
pick it up.
Oh, Secret Missile gonna go down on one of the tanks. He could unsiege this, but not going to in time, so gonna lose one of his tanks here. Second one incredibly low, but not really in danger just yet. Vikings can land in this scenario and be pretty darn good. He's already cleared out a lot of the air from QXC, but unfortunately the tanks on the low ground are not sieged, so they can't add too much more to this.
No, this is not going to work. I really don't think this is going to work. Yeah, the tanks are going to be sieged up. They're going to be in range. At least I think that the second one is going to be in range.
Double Secret Missiles.
Maybe with a missile, actually, you know, that went actually a lot more.
That suddenly worked out.
It would.
Illusion is finding his way back into this game. He could land the Vikings on top of the tanks if he wanted to, but of course, he doesn't want to give up all that air vision, so going to drop on top of the tanks with Marines instead. This is going to work out, but the blue flame is finished up just in the nick of time, forcing an unsiege. Illusion pushes on forward. He's got the army supply. Can he do it? There's one last tank. Sorry, 2 last tanks, and one just popped out, but Hellbats are here in just a moment's time. Picks up the tank that's barely alive, and the Vikings land, but unfortunately have to lift off right away. Illusion killed quite a few SCVs from QXC, but QXC, he's done work. Yeah.
Yeah, it just, Illusion had to pick up from that natural, so I don't think he actually lost too many more SCVs.
Ugh.
Actually, I can't remember what it was, but it did deny mining for a very, very long time. Now, Illusion, that would have been absolutely fantastic had he gotten that third orbital with those Vikings chasing him.
I thought with that push he was going to do game-ending damage, but I mean, the worker counts are just staggered after this. Again, QXC's killed so many more workers. And a lot of them were, of course, in that Hellion run by, but as you said, that Banshee cleaned up behind this.
I still don't want to count Illusion out quite yet. He has 3 command centers, so he's on even footing, and if he can get good positioning, then, that can really change the tide of a TVT. Just got to make sure not to let these Hellions pass the bunker.
Oh, is he not going to see these? Okay, saw a blip of them.
Oh, he's a Marauder, so that should be, I don't know, just barely enough.
No, I don't think it's going to work. He pulls with blue flame.
No, 4 SCVs pull him away.
Oh, no. QXC is ravaging this once again. 42 workers, 45 workers, and he's going to get one more volley off. No more kills, but Illusion has got to be frustrated that he's allowing this to happen at this point. Still has that one really weak tank in the medevac from earlier. But he doesn't really have pushing power. Not against this Thor. If it was just tanks, maybe he tries to outsiege him and flank him with positioning, but a Thor soaks so much damage.
And if Illusion had a cloak Banshee or 2 in this army, this would be so good. But of course now with a Thor out, that would have been a lot more difficult to pull off, and Illusion cannot find that sweet spot again. QXC's all over it. He might have to try and just, survive. QXC has shown that when he goes mech, he actually doesn't push. He's actually very, partial to pushing. He's rather just, that stay behind and, get to 200 and try and survive that way. That's why Pult got back in that first game that we saw, where QXC was actually really far ahead. If Illusion can do that, pull a Pult, then he can definitely get back into this game and back in the series.
That sounds like something that's a lot easier said than done, though. Especially in this sort of scenario. QXC, of course, with his blue flame Hellbats are going to be pretty good at dealing with most of the bio that comes out of Illusion. I do fear for him. Again, positionally, defensively, a Terran player can always take a good fight, but that's not the easiest thing to force, much less pull off. And QXC has just got map control. Look at this spread, Zombie Grub. Are there overlords in this match? What is happening?
That is pretty good. It's going to scout drops pretty much far in advance, unless Illusion happens to get the sweet spot. Illusion putting down some appropriately placed supply depots to see any run buys as early as possible. And 77 SCVs versus 51, so Illusion finally getting into a comfortable position. Oh, we got a Hellbat drop though. There are missile turrets, but it's going past them. Yeah.
As if QXC hasn't done enough worker damage already. Illusion. Okay, he pulls. He pulls with a nice reaction.
Yep.
So still going to stay at 46 workers killed. 77 SCVs at 54 for QXC. Honestly, I feel like this is too many. Typically, you want to be a little bit SCV light as a Terran player because you don't need this many. But, you can pull some to repair his army. Of course, he's playing mech. And let's not forget, eventually he'll sacrifice these for mules later. But right now, his economy is just fantastic. Both players still on 3 bases. Looks like another drop going off in the main. Gets a couple more kills, but not too many. Nothing too crazy.
Despite losing 52 SCVs, Illusion's doing well keeping up in supply. I mean, he's really losing out on a lot of what a bio player wants to do, which is that mid-game pushing the third and the natural and trying to trade with tanks. But if QXC's not planning on moving out anytime soon, Illusion probably is okay with this. He's just got to be very mindful about when QXC does push out, getting the optimal engagements, getting those 3-pronged attacks and actually just completely decimating QXC's army.
I'm sorry, this isn't to poke fun at Illusion. But I love that he finally put a supply depot in to sort of make a wall at his natural, but then didn't finish it, so it doesn't really matter. The Hellion run by is, I think, definitely stung, to say the least.
A little bit. There's also 2 more medevacs prepped and ready to go, as he sees. If he sees Illusion pushing out, that was, okay, they both get each other. There you go. Now the drop should start to try and commence. There we go. Goes in. 2 missile turrets are there. They do drop out. Need to pull the SCVs.
Too focused on the other side of the map, though. Although Hellbats are in a terrible spot, so they're not actually killing many of the SCVs for now. But the tank line here looks like it's going to be almost impregnable. We've got way too much defense here. Point defense runs allowing the Vikings to take an army supply lead in the air. And these wow, actually the Banshee's going to take out the turrets. Not something you see too often, but again, point defense runs looking pretty good. Hellbats are cleaning the clock of Illusion, though, up to 65 workers killed so far, but with no anti-air remaining, Zombie Grub, QXC's going to lose this tank line.
This has been so important, just having that air control this entire time, actually getting those Banshees This could change the tide of the battle. The Thor comes in, but it actually does really little damage, even with that.
Oh, it's focusing the Raven though. How much?
That might have been focused, but
more turrets coming down.
Yeah, he needs turrets and he needs scans. I'm not sure that QXC has a ton. Oh, one in each base, so he's actually good against the Banshees. For now, that Thor goes down, and QXC is screwed out of a bunch of tanks. Illusion tries to go to the third, but
these tanks on the right. Illusion couldn't see the tanks of QXC initially, so they got that first volley off. And he lost everything on the ground. Coming back home, there's a lot of Hellions running by into that third base. SCV count should escalate in a moment's time. He's even going to elevate some towards the main. Oh, Illusion is definitely in some trouble here. 69 workers killed so far, and some more Hellions getting towards the main. Again, that blue flame just roasts these light units like they're nothing. 75 workers killed so far. QXC getting so close to those 3 digits.
Illusion getting into the battlecruisers, though. This isn't over. I mean, he's not taking the best trades. He has been taking the best trades.
He's actually, yeah, Army Supply keeping up with QXC. Upgrades, QXC is actually slacking a little bit, so he's not exactly monstrously far ahead. This game looks so heavily in the favor of QXC, but really, QXC's just turtled up and he's got a nice defense. Illusion's upgrades are terrible. Yeah, well, for transition battlecruisers, yes, 100%. But QXC, he doesn't have the armor upgrades, so the lack of weapon upgrades is not as big of a deal, I feel. But Illusion's
really...
Well, Illusion's been doing something really cool, and that's the usage of his Ravens. So many times in TVT, you see Ravens just kind of get made one only ever. It YOLOs in with a couple secret missiles and ends up dying. He's managed to maintain his Raven count. He's been using them like for point defense turns and other cool things. I really think if Illusion keeps a calm head moving into this late game, maybe he starts finding some wiggle room. Unfortunately, neither of his drops seem to be getting much done.
This drop could do something. I mean, if it can drop on top of the tanks, not actually a really good spread for QXC, so he has to get out of there. Does trying to go into the fourth, but there's a planetary there, so even if the drop did kill the tanks, it wouldn't matter. Illusion, I think, is just trying to poke to make sure that QXC doesn't push out. He didn't see the games that we saw against Paul, where QXC, I mean, he took forever to push out, so he's, constantly afraid, like, if he pushes out, I'm dead. And by doing this, he would buy time otherwise.
Well, good reason, though. I mean, look at the run-bys. Still, even here, 25 minutes in the game almost, he's trying to run by with Hellions, catch Illusion off guard, and Illusion has been caught off guard several times. Now, I don't believe the battlecruisers were scouted by those Hellions, but one thing for QXC with the drilling claws coming out, he's certainly going to be able to deal with them quite easily.
Yeah, I don't think he saw it, but he's, he played Pult, and Pult was constantly trying to do the battlecruiser transition, so he's already like, well, I'm going to be prepared, and I can definitely afford it.
You know what I just realized doesn't make sense?
Oh, he did see it. Never mind. He saw the fusion core, so...
Well, okay, but I just realized, like, because chat, of course, on a delay, that Thor from earlier was in a high-impact payload mode. Banshees are light units, and they were clumped. Why did he transform his Thor to try and kill the Banshees of Illusion down there?
I don't know.
I
mean, either way, they really just don't do a whole lot of damage. I mean, and he could have spread his Banshees, so I don't know. But
well, I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world. I just realized that was actually kind of something that I didn't catch when it was happening. But some Marauders going to try and catch the tanks here in the south. We'll take one out, but of course, QXC, man, he doesn't want Illusion to take bases. He's still got these Hellbats that have been spread everywhere, just like Overlords. And unfortunately, this base looks like it's going to get canceled here in a moment's time, or killed. We'll see. Pushing across the map, though, the battlecruisers are here. They do not have Yamato cannon available. But, again, that air-to-ground dominance is something that he's found work quite well for him so far. But there's so many Thors and so many Widow Mines. And QXC just needs to burrow these Widow Mines underneath this army, and it's going to fall.
Well, I was surprised Illusion was even going in there, because he was also scanning. I was like, no. Oh, that's so scary. That's an interesting army to combat. Like, usually when you face a mech player, you're like Hellbats and tanks, but Widow Mines, Thors, and tanks? Like, that's weird.
Thors are hard to bust, too. Like, even if you got a lot of bio mixed in, like Illusion.
Oh, does he not realize that he's trapped?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, the Widow Mines. The Widow Mines. He unburrows them. He's got to reburrow them. Most of them being taken out, though. Tries to drop on top of the Thors. I don't know if he's got the pushing power for this.
Those drops are shooting really well, and
the Marauders. The Marauders pushing forward, and the Vikings somehow live after this to Illusion finally finds his legs in this game. The Widow Mines are still alive, but who the hell cares? They're on cooldown, not a big deal. Vikings will chase out this command center, probably won't kill it, but I mean, Illusion, what is really important is he finally takes a victory. He's been behind this entire game. If played... Oh, no. No! 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 Okay, finally just in time. I'm talking this big game about how he's finally getting back into this, but he's taking these Widowmine losses unnecessarily. Oh, the Marauders! What the fuck? Widowmine's all over the place. Illusion can't move anywhere safely. Okay, I'm like sitting here like sneering at Illusion. I shouldn't be, but you know what? He's brought it back. It's barely 100 resources separating these two. Well, a little bit different now. Of course, more Marauders and Marines being picked off by the Widowmines here, but this top right base is going to need to be lifted. Yeah, Mule's unfortunately going to go to waste here for Illusion. But, guys, his upgrades have been lacking for so long, but finally starting to catch up. His army supply was nowhere near, and still isn't anywhere near that of QXC's, but starting to catch up. I don't know if pressuring into this is going to be worth it. I mean, this base is not exactly a priority base at this point. Looks like Battlecruisers will go down. Without the Yamato cannon, they really lose a large potential, unfortunately. And looks like this army is going to get cleaned up. Trying to stim away from the Hellbats, cutting them backwards. Another Battlecruiser rallied across the map, perhaps regretfully so.
Well, I don't know what Illusion can do. He's on 4 base, not too shabby. Hellbat drop's still going on, though. How many SCVs have been killed? 81 SCVs from QXC. What the...
Oh, yikes.
And Illusion, although he is on a bunch of bases, he's really just on 2. 1.5 even. He just does not have a bank to remax, whereas QXC is like, you know, take my army like that. I don't care. I can remax, no problem.
Well, tanks pushing forward here are gonna peck away a little bit, but disengages entirely does Illusion. Now, to go back to chat, because I was waiting to see if someone was gonna science us on this. People are saying because of the point defense drone, why he didn't transform to Thor. But I am fully aware that happened, but when you have the Thor do splash damage, the point defense drone has to eat each one of those splashes. It's not one projectile it eats. So the point defense drone would have only eaten like 1 blast with how out of energy it was. Not trying to argue the point with chat off a delay. It's a stupid thing to try and do, but again, that's why I was curious. But looks like SCVs are going to be pulled this time. Won't die to the Hellbats. A couple still go down in a blaze of glory, I guess. I don't know. There's too many.
Mine. Just took out 2 or 1.5 Marauders, I suppose. Illusion finally gets another base. He's also harassing that one base that almost went down, so he's trying to claw his way back into this. It's just... why are you trying to go... I don't know why he's trying to go Battlecruisers. That's, that I don't understand.
If he had Yamato cannon... If you had Yamato cannon, it would make a little more sense to me, right? Because that, like, one-shots the Vikings. They can't kite you around. But Illusion has completely unupgraded battlecruisers. He has no Yamato cannon attached to them. I agree with Zombie Grub. I don't know why he's trying to go for them.
Yeah, it's just, he's bringing them with his attack, like, he's like dropped. I don't know what to call them. Like his side attacks. That's interesting to see. Illusion. Oh god, get a Raven.
These Widowmines, man. Oh, another one. Where did that one come from? QXC has magical Widowmines. But point defense drone down will allow him to push forward into the battlecruisers. Illusion is going to lose what little he has invested into this. And if this base goes down, yes, he's got the top right, but you don't want to be on one base mining as a Terran. Bio, mech, doesn't matter. The economy is looking to be just non-existent in a moment's time for Illusion. Can these SCVs even get out alive, I wonder? Battlecruiser is going to gauge into the front line, but Illusion, once again, doesn't have Yamato cannon, so a little bit useless. Marauders just going to have their shots completely eaten up by the point defense drones, and the tanks will clean this up. Illusion put up such a great day, but I think it's finally about to come to an end. QXC's army is 155 to 39, and even less now. Tapping out here at the end. Good game is called. That Thor, how much health is it? 9 health on that Thor. Congratulations, he says, because he knows that will send QXC to IEM Cologne. He'll be the second qualifier to join Pulse and represent America.